everything that I got now is natural, but
Oh
it really isn't. Like, if you talk to my ballet teacher, she would say my foot was not stretched at all, and I was not flexible at all, and I was very weak. Then I started at 12 at this place, and I realized that I was really bad at it, and that gave me the drive to continue, because then I learned that you can never be perfect at ballet. It's even a bit delusional of how far I would make it.
Well, I don't know. You've made it pretty far.
People in Brazil would call me a dreamer, big time. Once my teacher, the Mariinsky, went to Rio to perform. It was the last time they went, and they were performing Le Corsair. It was such an emotional show. I think everyone felt it, and the audience also. I think it was the moment where they accepted us. Also, because that's very important. You need to make the audience love you. The goal is clear, so nothing can stop me.
Victor, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast again. We did an online interview a couple of years ago. So much has happened since then in your life and with your dancing, which is so amazing. For anyone that doesn't necessarily know you or didn't watch the other interview, can we briefly go back to your training and how ballet came into your life and what led you to joining Mariinsky? So that whole period.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Right. So let's start from the beginning. I was always a really active kid back in Brazil. And I never really danced when I was a child, but I always did things. So I did all kinds of sports. I was, again, very active. And my mom always tried to put me and my brother in extracurricular activity so that she could work, because she was a single mom. We only had my granny, but she also had things to do. So I was in this institution in my neighborhood for kids that don't have a lot of support back home, but like also who don't have like people to watch from them. So to keep the kids out of the streets.
Yeah, out of trouble,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
So we were obliged to do every activity basically, and one of them was ballet. And I enjoyed everything. I was never a kid that picked what I did. Like, if I did something, I did it. So, and then it happened that the director of this project, social project of the ballet school, she came to do auditions and take a few of those students from this place to bring to her school and have a proper ballet training, because there was just some stretches, or we did a little choreography to present for the parents in the end of the year. So it was not proper ballet class.
And were you one of the only boys there at the time?
At this moment, there were quite a few, because everyone was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But from all of these kids, she only took me for her school. And it was a big school for my city with the social project within the school.
Yeah.
And then they had quite a few boys, not many, but the ones that they had were really good.
Yeah.
And then once I got to this place, I was 12. So I started a little bit before 12.
Yeah.
And then, but like I saved that I proper start ballet at 12. That was when I started with her.
So a little bit late.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks that everything that I got now is natural, but it really isn't. Like, if you talk to my ballet teacher, she would say my foot was not stretched at all, and I was not flexible at all, and I was very weak. So then I started at 12 at this place, and I realized that I was really bad at it. And that gave me the drive to continue, because then I learned that you can never be perfect at ballet. And
were others around you much better at the time?
Yes. Yeah.
Were they older or
same age?
Same age.
Or a bit older. Eventually older, because then she wanted to push me, so she put me in advanced class of our ballet studio, because then she saw that I actually wanted to do that serious.
Yeah.
And she called my mom and said, like, as I start old, I will have to do like 3 years, 6 years in 3, if I want to become a dancer. Because
How did that feel?
I like again, it gave me the drive, like
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it. Like I feel like if that wouldn't have happened, I would have just done it as any other activity that I did before
Yeah.
before that. So I'm very thankful for her to being like really hard on me in the beginning and said, like, I will only have you in my class if this is really what you want to do, because there were a lot of people on her door trying to get into this school and trying
Right.
to get that opportunity.
What
And
did it take for you to catch up? What was did you have any kind of strategy, or were you doing extra things that the others weren't necessarily?
I just spent so many hours in the studio.
Yeah.
There's
Practicing?
no other recipe. You
No,
won't wake up
just
and
the hours.
and be better. Like, if you don't practice, you won't get better. Like,
Yeah.
there's no secret.
No.
Of course, I had the guidance of her. She's an amazing teacher. I still find that she's the best teacher I ever had. With Gennady, of course, but
Yeah.
but she's the person I will call to still nowadays if I had any questions whatsoever regarding ballet.
That's so nice.
Yeah, we have a really close relationship,
Mm.
and yeah, so from there I started to take classes every day from Monday to sometimes Sunday, like Monday to Monday. I would spend my whole afternoon and evening there. So academic schools became very difficult, but I had to do it.
Yeah.
But I knew that that was not my priority anymore. That ballet was my priority.
Yeah.
And I think that's why everything worked out, because it was so clear at 12. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to do.
Were you very, did you have any doubt in your mind that you weren't going to achieve your goal, or did you very much believe in those moments that, no, I will make it?
Yeah, I was even a bit delusional of how
Yeah.
far I would make it.
Well, I don't know. You've made it pretty far.
Like, people in Brazil would call me a dreamer, like, big time. Once my teacher, the Mariinsky, went to Rio to perform. It was the last time they went. And they were performing Le Corsair, and I think there was a picture of Kim on the program, and she brought it back, and I saw it, and I told her, I'm gonna dance there. And she's like, no, you won't. Like, they don't have foreigners. You know what the Mariinsky is? Like,
Yeah.
boy, dreamer boy. And then I was like, I think I don't know, I saw something that I believed that I was gonna be there, and it happened. Like, we still talk about this. It's crazy. My intuition, my drive, from that age became so clear that there was nothing that could get on my way.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Tell us about the competition period when you went to Moscow.
Yes, so a little bit prior to that,
Yeah.
my ballet teacher in Brazil told me, because I didn't have the means to come to Europe and audition,
Yeah.
that the only way would be to do competitions, because then you get exposed to all of those schools in one go. So it was still a bit hard financially for my parents to afford the travel for this competition. But somehow we made it. I went to YGP in New York. I went to Prix de Lausanne. And with those competitions, I got quite a few numbers of scholarships. So my path in ballet could have gone so differently.
Yeah.
Like, in Prix de Lausanne, I left with 18 scholarships.
That's amazing.
I didn't go to the finals or took a prize, which I
Yeah.
was really upset about it.
I bet.
Like, crying in front of the jury, and
Yeah.
being quite rude at the time. I was like, how dare you,
I
But
saw this happening.
yes.
Yeah.
But I left there with like a number of places to choose from. And my first choice wasn't the best. Um, I went to Canada. It didn't really work for me. I was there for only 6 months. And I think that was the only period that I thought that I would stop ballet.
Why didn't it work, if you don't mind me asking?
It was just not the best fit with the ideas that I had. Like, um, suddenly I felt like that working hard was, or being, hard worker was something bad.
Right.
And I had this idea in my mind that I had to catch up because I started late.
Yeah.
And then I was just doing 1.5 hour ballet class a day. And then in the evening, I would do something different, like pas de deux, yoga. But like in the peak of my energy, because I knew that from there, I would just get tired and tired.
Yeah.
I was not doing enough. So, you know, I saw my vision and I was like, I need to leave this place. Either I leave here or I go back to Brazil and do something else. And that was the best decision I could have done.
And that's quite brave, I think.
Yes.
For a lot of people,
it
you
was
can
very
get quite
difficult
stuck.
because I was on full scholarship. So they didn't take it very well. It was, a bit dramatic. But, you know,
you got to do what you got to do.
And I'm very grateful that I did that. And from there, I went to Berlin directly. My teacher from Brazil knew if I would go back to Brazil, I might stop ballet. So she was like, you're not doing that. So straight to a plane to Germany. And then when I arrived in the Berlin Hauptbahnhof in the station, and I was like, I cried and I was like, this is my place, you know, like I felt like I really belonged in Europe somehow. And then it was everything that I expected in Berlin. I did so many hours and like so many different things. They pushed me to the limits. Still mindful. Like I never got injured in Berlin. Although in my, I did. So in Berlin, they still brought us to ballet competitions, which was, I didn't like to compete really, but I liked the preparation because it's such an intense period. Like you rehearse lots of solos and you can see the progress. So it's, and it's nice to get a medal. And like as a child, it's really nice. But like I find that the process of rehearsing and achieving something.
What would you find you learned most out of those periods, leading up to competitions? Was it more about the variation itself, or did you learn anything mindfully?
Also mindfully. Because when you go to these places, you get so many different people from everywhere with different trainings, and you see people better than you. And, like we are there to compete, but we are there also learning from each other. So I had to be very strong with my ideas and plans, and to keep like concentrate, because you go to these places and again you see everything, and if you let the nervous take you, like it can go really bad. So it's a really good training, I find. Because when we dance in a company, you're always on stage, so you need to train. You cannot just do ballet class your whole life and then expect that you go on stage and you're gonna do a good show. Like you need stage training. It's completely different than putting a leotard on and going to ballet class.
100%.
So and I'm like a stage animal, and I knew that from my first step on stage. Like I remember my first performance, I was like, it was crazy. Like my teacher was like, oh my God, what did you do? It was just like a lot. So she
you had a lot of energy?
Yes.
Like from the adrenaline?
Triple than what I would do in rehearsals. So she also had to
calm you down.
Calm me down, and like, where do you put more energy? Why do you take less, you know? So yes, so in Berlin, they prepared me to go to the Moscow competition, which is like the Olympics of ballet. The level super high.
How old are you at this?
17.
17.
And just before that, I had a little stress reaction on my foot.
Yeah.
And at that point, I somehow really knew that needed to be in Moscow. Like I've always been someone very sensitive, and like I felt that I had to be there. And then the doctor from school said that I couldn't go, and I had to do so many things. I had to like I my parents needed to send a letter saying they would let me go, like that they would take the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. Either I would go by myself and compete by myself without the name of the school, or
Yeah.
either like the school would bring me. So
Yeah.
it was really tricky. And I'm very grateful for my teacher in Berlin that he managed this situation very well.
Mm.
He was also very careful with my food.
Yeah.
And then we went to Moscow. It was a bit painful, but like somehow my training to that was very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there were 3 rounds of the competition.
Yeah.
The first round, I had to do 2 solos, 2 variations.
Mm-hmm.
Second round, 1 Grand Pas de deux. Third, final round, 1 Grand Pas de deux. But they will eliminate people by the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So after the first round, Yuri Fatiev was the director of the Mariinsky at the time. He was in the jury,
Yeah.
and he contacted me, but through my teacher in Brazil, that
Yeah.
she was in Moscow watching me.
Yeah.
So it was like full circle again. Like it came back to her, and I remember I danced and the first solo, and then we had the talk with her, and she said, "You've just been offered a contract with the Mariinsky,
Yeah.
but you need to focus on your second solo because you need to go through the second
The second
round."
round. Yeah.
And I remember I was so nervous that I felt on stage.
Yeah.
Like the stage was so slippery and it was raked, and it was the first time for me
Yeah.
dancing a rake stage. Well, all these combinations and the emotions, like, and again, I go on stage and I become someone else
Yeah.
that I was like, ah. And I remember thinking, God, I won't go to the second round and I don't have a job anymore.
Yeah.
But then we met in his hotel lobby, and then I was with my ballet teacher from Brazil, so it was really nice, like
Yeah.
full circle
Full
moment.
circle.
And he was very clear. He wanted me at the Mariinsky, and he wanted me there the week after. He actually asked me if I could go from Moscow to St. Petersburg to start the visa and see how I feel in the company. But he was very clear that he wanted me there.
How did that feel after everything?
Oh, I couldn't sleep for the rest of the week. It
Yeah.
was terrible, like terribly good, but
I bet you were so excited.
I was.
Yeah.
I was ready to like drop the competition, and like that was my priority. I needed to get to St.
Yeah, you kind of
Petersburg.
already won, you know?
So then, yeah, did second round. I had a partner from Berlin from the school, and then did the third round. I placed third place, and I very ambitious, but I was so happy with that because that was not my priority anymore.
Yeah.
And only then I told my teachers from Berlin, because I still had 2 more years in school. And because I was a bit worried of how they would take it, because I need to complete my school years.
Yeah.
And my teacher was very supportive, but then I had to come to school and tell them
So you went back
to Berlin.
Yeah.
And then, I had to tell them. And I had another competition in South Korea the weekend after. And I told them, and I had my food problem, but I knew that I had to be in Russia in that same period
Yeah.
to do my visa. And then I told them I can't compete in Korea. Like, this is not my priority anymore. And that was hard, because then the girl was depending on me. But I managed to get myself out of this competition. I only went to Korea to do the modern pas de deux with her because she needed a modern.
Right.
So I was just there,
Yeah.
supporting her. And she did the solos. She placed first, like it was all good.
Yeah.
But by then I knew, like, everything was towards this big dream that I had back in Brazil when I saw that program. And it was crazy, like the feeling.
Was there any resistance, from the school in Berlin about, no, you must complete your training, it's too early?
Yes. But somehow, like, I've always been so clear with my ideas that I make sure people know that I will stick with it.
So
And
once you've made your mind up, really,
yes,
you know what you're going to do,
yeah,
and no one can change that.
no. And I
Yeah.
told them, well, there is two options here. Either I say I go and I say that I graduated here, like I've been through this school,
Mm.
or either I delete this part of my life and
Yeah.
just say that I came from Brazil. Like I don't need
Yeah.
to say that I studied here. So would you like to have someone from Mariinsky
Yeah.
saying that they studied in your school? They were like, yes.
I think that's really
Yeah.
bold of you.
Yeah, oh, I've always been
That was
like
very
that.
like confident of you as a 17-year-old.
Yeah, and
I bet they were like, okay.
yes. So I kept a really good relationship with the school. I think they were
Yeah.
wonderful, and I love Berlin. I love
Yeah.
my teacher. I love the building. Like so many memories. I was there for a year and a half, but like it felt like I was there my whole training.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I had like 1 year more, like 2 more years in Berlin to get the bachelor, but that was not my priority. I
Yeah.
wanted to be in that company so bad that
Mm.
we managed to give me some diploma saying that I completed my course.
Yeah.
Didn't complete the bachelor, but and that was enough to get me to the company.
Yeah.
They didn't care about where I studied or anything. They just cared how I danced and if I really wanted that.
So tell me about, arriving in St. Petersburg, because it can be a real shock when you get there. Everything about it.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, the people, the culture, who, we grow to love, but it is very much a different place like any other. Tell me just your emotions and your feelings when you arrived in St. Petersburg for the first time.
I think I was very lucky because I was there in July or June, so it was like white nights.
Oh, okay, that's a good period.
Beautiful. I was like, wow, my God, is it always gonna be like that?
Yeah, it's quite romantic.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. And I was just like, I couldn't sleep the whole week I was there. I was taking class.
You never sleep.
Yes. Well, first of all, it never gets dark
No.
during these days, but
Yeah.
just arriving outside of the theater to go inside, like I was just like, oh my God, it felt like a dream. But somehow I had like this drive, like, no, I need to show why I'm here for. Like I couldn't imagine them taking this job from me.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like a job. It felt like I was entering like almost like a church. Like
Yeah.
it's something so sacred that yeah, I think my first class there, I was just like a little boy looking at people. I stayed between Olesya Novikova and Xander Parrish,
Oh,
who was
cool.
really nice to me.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
God
so
that
lovely.
I had someone speaking English because, like, you don't really hear back on my years. You didn't hear of many foreigners there. You
No.
had Kimin and Xander,
Yeah.
but they were not the only ones, but like the ones that were there.
Yeah,
And
you really needed that support.
yes. And I was just the whole class like, wow. Like the whole period, that was the only thing I could say.
Did you feel like this is my place? This is where I'm supposed to be?
Oh yes. Again, I was that was this kid that I was so delusional. I was much weaker than everyone, and I felt like I always knew that I had some troubles with my hands and arms, and that was the place to fix that because the upper body. We all know that Russia is like they have an amazing work of hands, arms, and upper body. So honestly, it was the best fit for me to work on those things.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had a lot to catch up.
Were you working many hours in the day at that time?
So I did this week. Then I went back to Brazil for summer visa process. Came back to Russia, started in September. And they were quite slow at giving me the opportunity to go on stage because also my visa and there was this permit to work So once you got the visa, you still have to get like a permit for working
Mm-hmm.
there. It's quite complicated thing there. Like I've never been through so much.
Paperwork.
Yes. Even after like 4 years, it was still the same. But you know, you get used to it. And um, during these first weeks, I was just taking class, going through all the rehearsals possible to learn things. And I went to every show. They had shows every day, and I watched all of them. Because it was like being in the ballet
Like a
place,
master class every
like,
day. Yeah.
and I had so much to learn for just like watching. And
Mm.
I've always been a visual learner as well. So if like I saw a show and I liked it, I would amplify that to my class the next day. So
Mm-hmm.
I had so much inspiration coming from everywhere, from the corps de ballet, even from the mimans, which is the people that just stand there, but they're so beautiful. Like
Yeah.
you're like, wow, I could just do this job too. Like I would be happy to be on this stage standing.
Yeah.
And one thing that I realized there is that everyone is so aware, maybe not happy, but aware of their place.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're just standing, that's their job and they need to do it well. So maybe they want something more from there, but like the care that they have for what they do when they go on stage, it's crazy. I've never seen something like this before. Like we all are very ambitious people in the ballet
Yeah.
world, and we all want to be the prima ballerina or whatever. But like it was so important for them to do that well. So I think that's why it looked so good.
Yeah.
So I was very inspired by all of this. And then I think my third or fourth week there, um, so the way it works there is that every soloist, they have their private coach.
Yeah.
Not all soloists, but like people that are aiming to be a soloist principal.
Mm-hmm.
Some people from the corps also have a private coach. And
Why is that? Why do some corps members have private coaches?
I think it's like the people that have like potential to be a soloist.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe the favorites, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you see those people performing a solo eventually.
Yeah. Sometimes I often find some people who graduate from school, almost immediately they're given a solo.
Yeah, that happens really quick there.
Yeah.
But I think they already like kind
Plan.
of fished them from school.
Yeah.
So yeah, around my fourth week, I was in the corridor trying to see the plan, because by that time I still wouldn't speak Russian.
Yeah, or read it. It's
or
quite
read
hard.
it. So I was just like, I would take so long to find out what the plan said.
Yeah.
And then this legendary coach, really old, but like, such a personality, Gennady Naumovich Salutsky, saw me on the corridor, and then he pointed at me. He's like, "You come here."
Yeah.
In Russian, and he thought that I was Russian for some reason, and he started to speak with me, and I was like, "Я не говорю по-русски." That was the only thing I said. I was like, and he was like, "Okay," and then he's like, he showed me the plan. He's like, "Tomorrow, here," like, and he showed me the studio for me to go on studio with him.
Yeah.
Because he just saw me in the corridor, and then I was like, okay. And then I came back the next day, not expecting what would happen, and then we went to the studio together after class, and I did, I think, like 15 different variations. He was just testing me.
Yeah.
And then he would stop, and then he would go get someone to watch me, and he's like, say something that I wouldn't understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like there was like 5 people in front of me. It felt like really like he was trying to get something out of me.
See, I love this about them.
Me too.
I feel like you just will never get that anywhere else. Just like saying, you, tomorrow, in the studio. It's, so beautiful.
Yeah. So, and then he said something that I think he meant like, I would like to work with you. So that from now on, I would see always my name with him in the studio. So then I was like, okay, I guess he's my coach
So
now.
was it very much at that period he just decided, right, I'm going to train him up and get him
Yes.
stronger? Or were you rehearsing for things?
No, not yet. So he just, yeah, he wanted to, for me to get stronger. And all of his students were principal dancers, and they were actually the older principal dancers, the one already like coming to the end of their career.
Yeah.
So it was really like the fresh blood. And now I see it as he was really old, but he needed this young figure around him to feel alive. And we wouldn't separate from each other at any moment. During the whole year, we spent the whole year together, like every single day. And I was around 3 months without a single day off.
Wow.
So it was really exhausting, and he would take so much out of me, but I think I would also take from him some. It was, I don't know, like when I closed my eyes, I could see this energy going like between us, you know, like we were feeding each other.
Yeah.
And he needed that young energy around him. And I've always been so energetic in studios. And even if in the beginning I wouldn't understand a single word that he would say, I would laugh it off. And then, you know, I would fall, and then I would laugh, and then he would laugh. And then there was this so much passion. And this is all I like, and I love this. And that's what I missed, I don't know, in Canada, you know, like, and I had it all there in that small studio with him, and that was the favorite hour of my day. And sometimes more than an hour. Like we would rehearse in the morning, and then he was like, "Do you want to do in the evening as well?" So I found someone else that was obsessed with ballet.
Yeah.
And
he watched every show as well.
Yes.
Didn't he?
And he would bring me with him to sit with him and like point out what was good, what was not. So I learned so much. And I think the moment that we really clicked, it's a really funny story that he would call me names, and I think I wouldn't get what he was saying. So once he called me tupoi, and I remember I would keep these words to me, and I translate, and then go at home and translate them, and like, okay, I learned 3 new words today.
Yeah.
And then this tupoi, I was like, I went home, and then I found out that was stupid because I wouldn't get what he was saying. So I asked the Russian friend, how can I answer? But I don't want to, like, I want to answer badly.
Yeah.
Because I knew with what was dealing, you know?
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, if you really want to say something, say some tupoi. So, like, stupid yourself. So next day, he called me tupoi, and I was like, some tupoi. And then he screamed, yes! So it was when we connected, he was like, that was not just a little boy. Like, it's someone with personality that he was dealing with, and that I really wanted. So from now on, it was just great.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I still remember this moment. We were in the second studio of the Mariinsky. It's one of the smallest.
Yeah.
And we'd spend so much time there. And then I started to perform the roles that.
What would you say he gave you the most in those rehearsals? What were some of the main lessons you learned from him?
Passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving your soul.
Yes. And musicality and like style.
Yeah.
But you were on the place like pure ballet imperial. So if you're smart, you learn. You see, you like visual learner. You see, like, I will correct my hands. He would say things, but like I would understand these things by myself.
Yeah.
But like for you to go on stage, you need to be an artist. So I think that's the main thing that we created. And he was so musical, and he would make me dance singing the music, so that I knew what kind of energy I needed to put in each step. Like there was one thing that he says that like I still keep to myself, and whenever I give class, I always tell the students that like you don't always need to scream when you dance. So there are moments you need to dance like this, but there are moments you need to be calm, and that's all in the music.
Yeah.
And within the steps. So by singing whilst dancing, I learned that. and
Yeah.
because I had too much energy that I had to somehow um
Mm.
put in the right place.
Yeah. Do
And
you mean literally singing or?
yes, literally.
Yeah.
And that was so hard, like, because ballet is already hard. So imagine like you're singing while you do,
So
so,
give me an
you know,
example.
like dun 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 dun, and then I had to jump and sing. And he's
I've
like,
actually seen
louder,
videos.
louder.
Yeah, I think I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah, yeah,
videos
yeah.
on your.
And
Yeah.
it was funny. Like that was always something with him whenever I was out of music or he didn't feel that I was giving enough, he would make me go through
So
this.
did that teach you dynamic?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my best qualities nowadays, the energy that I put into it, like the right energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the main lesson he gave me, and everything else. I mean, technically, I wasn't so strong because I had like late growth,
Yeah.
and I was very much of a wobbly dancer. So it
You have
was
to
so
get
nice that
stronger.
they respect that as well.
Yeah, they see potential.
Yes, and sometimes wasn't like the best strong technique performance, but like the artistic was there, and they were really happy with that. And then each performance, like, my jump would get higher and higher and higher. I was 18, so
Mm.
um
What was a big break for you there? What would you say was the first big moment for you, performance-wise?
so all the best students at the Vaganova has their own nutcracker, so
Right.
they're, I don't know, someone that they are looking for to go to the theater and
Mm-hmm.
become someone important, a soloist, a principal. They'll give the chance for this couple to perform the main roles, right? But as I didn't go through the Vaganova, and at the time, Meina Gahisa, which is a first soloist, they're now joined together with me. So she had the same training, kind of
Yeah.
like same process. We were the same age, so we both didn't go to the Vaganova. So the first big role that they gave to us was the Nutcracker, to lead the company, not the school. So, and as like an exam for us to test us if we could be like a
Yeah.
leading soloist. And that was so special. Like, we were both 18, really fresh. It was such an emotional show. I think everyone felt it. Like, and the audience also, I think it was the moment where they accepted us also, because
Yeah.
that's very important. You need to make the audience loves you.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost more important than within the
Yeah.
within the
No, for
staff.
sure.
So yeah, and it was a very successful show. I mean, for our first year, like eventually, like every year we got better and better at it. But like, we were 18 and we were leading the company. We had people at 40s staying in the corps de ballet for us. So it was a big moment, like
Yeah.
lots of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, like after our show, he was like, okay, so this is your next ballet, this is your next ballet. And
So you
then it
passed.
just like, we passed.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then we were more often on stage,
Mm-hmm.
because before that they were being very careful on what to give it to us. At the Mariinsky, we had also 30 shows a month, so there were plenty of opportunities.
Mm.
But the first months, it was like we would dance twice a month max, and
Right.
then from then we would catch on the repertoire, which was huge. So I
Yeah.
left without dancing so many things that I wish I could have.
Yeah. Did you imagine at the time, because obviously, you're not there anymore, did you see yourself staying there for the foreseeable
Oh yes,
future,
yeah.
if not for your whole career, basically?
There was no other place I would be happy in my mind,
Yeah.
and I still think that it was the place that would fit me the best. So now it's very difficult for me, obviously, because I
Yeah.
don't think I can ever feel what I felt when I was back there.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell us about that period when the war started and you were facing leaving basically your dream company?
So by this point, I think that was my first season when my best season
Yeah.
when all of this happened. But I had changed coach by that time because Gennady unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
The year
So
of
sad.
COVID. It was not COVID, but he passed away during that time.
Yeah.
It was very difficult for me, and I told the director I could only work with one coach, otherwise I would have to leave because I didn't get along with the others. Not that I didn't get along, but the ideas didn't match because Selyutsky Gennady was so specific,
Yeah.
and that was the only way I could work. And he had like put so much in my dance
Yeah.
that I couldn't change that.
He kind of turned you from a student into an artist, didn't
Yes,
he?
and like you can distinguish his students from so far. Like
Yes.
we all have kind of the same upper body, like this chest open.
Yeah,
Like
like
if you see
Faruk
Faruk Ruzimat,
Yeah.
Igor Zelensky,
Yeah.
Sarafanov, like so many.
Yeah.
And not every teacher likes that. And like I didn't want to go to a teacher and for them to change me completely. Like I'm very open-minded, but there are some things that like it's part of your personality as well. So
Yeah.
it's kind of the way you dance. Like you can try to make better and like we can all evolve,
Yeah.
but that's kind of also my signature, like the things that I had.
Mm-hmm.
So
did they have strong opinions of
yes,
how it should be?
and there's so much competition between teachers.
Oh.
Yes, it's like sometimes you don't even say hello to each other.
Oh,
Like things
wow.
like that. Yeah.
Intense.
So there was only one person I could work. It was either the director because I liked working with him and he got me to the company. He was very nice to me
Yeah.
and to the other foreigners. And I think he was like my angel that like appeared in my life and gave me this job, you know, like he's not longer the director now, but very grateful to him. And either him, but I knew he was always busy. He
Yeah.
wouldn't have the time to work with me. And I was not like a ready principal dancer, like that I can just repeat things. Like I needed coaching still.
Yeah.
There was Viktor Baranov, which
Mm-hmm.
was Selyutsky's student as well. So he knew the ideas that Selyutsky had.
Yeah.
But he was a bit calmer and a bit more princey. So he was the perfect fit for me because I came to him and I had all this energy and he just polished it.
Yeah.
And the ballets that we did together, I think it was the highlights of my career, which, you know, Sleeping Beauty, because that's a big deal in Russia when you do
Mhm.
Sleeping Beauty. That's the most classical ballet there is.
Yeah.
I think even more than Swan Lake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all the Russian school, the heads and everything, the neck and the height of the arm. So that was a big deal. Like the preparation for that was really intense, and I had the best coach for that. I find him like the best Prince Mariinsky ever had.
Mm-hmm. So what did he teach you that's different? Did he teach you sort of subtlety or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he just, you know, polished my energy. And as I said, I'm a very good visual learner.
Yeah.
So he
So you could
was
copy,
younger
or
than
you could.
Selyutsky, so he could show me. So
Right.
that was amazing for
Yeah.
me. He would still somehow jump. And like me watching that in the studio, I knew how privileged I was. And I was his only student because he would rehearse, he would give class and rehearse duets, trios, but he never really connected with people. He was a bit cold. And
Yeah.
it was like a really good connection that me and him had, because then I came like as like a little kid, you know, full of energy. And he also like kind of fell in love for that. Like he became also my father in a way that like we would also hang out every day. He would care about everything, what I ate, how I slept, how my family is, and I became very close to his family.
So nice.
And
did you approach him to be your coach or?
yes,
Yeah.
at that point I spoke Russian, and I said we had worked before in other things. I would take his class.
Yeah.
And I said, would you mind coming to my rehearsal? Like, because at that time Selyutsky was sick, so he was off.
Right.
So I was a bit lost.
Yeah.
Um, and he did. And after, I think he prepared one of my shows of Don Q. Um, and it was a great show. I remember doing new jumps that I didn't do before that he taught me how to do because Selyutsky couldn't show. So
Yeah.
it was much like he would say, like, I use my talent to do something, but there was not like, okay, you need to do that, push this muscle, whatever, because he was sat on a chair. So he
Yeah.
couldn't say much of that.
Yeah.
Whereas Victor Baranov, he could show me. So I remember after the show, it was just before summer, I said, would you work with me if Selyutsky is not back? I would love to work with you, and I think you're the only person I can work. And he was a bit like, he said, like, let me think, because he didn't have any student of his own.
Right.
And it was a big responsibility. And I was very different than a lot of the dancers in Marine. He came back and there was his name with my name in the rehearsal, and I was like, okay. So we started from there.
Amazing.
So yeah, we prepared so many roles together, and that my last season with Mariinsky, I think the highlight of the season was La Bayadere,
Mm-hmm.
which was a big deal for the male dancer
Yeah.
in the company. Like we had, I don't know, 20s or more soloists and principals in the company, and only 4 of those would do Bayadere. So it was kind of like a rotation. The
Right.
shows were always the same guys.
Mm.
And I remember doing it before some principal didn't do Bayadere, or some older soloists haven't done it.
Yeah.
And I was 20 or 20, no, 21 when I did
Amazing.
it. And
Was there any kind of jealousy at all around that?
a little bit,
Yeah.
but more like expectations, because by that time people knew that I was capable and I had done great shows before of other ballets. So they were really interested of how I would take that challenge.
Yeah.
And I think it was the best role I ever did back there. One that fit me the most. And like getting compliments of the teachers, also the female teachers, because I think they're even more picky with style and
Yeah.
arms and like how you approach the role. And the role fit me like a glove, they would say, you know, even like on my facial, like how I'm built, like my eyebrows or everything about the role.
Yeah.
And I even looked like the guy, the solar from the painting that
Yeah.
they have. So they were like, wow. And it was a very, very special show. I was sharing the show, the debut with Mariinsky, which was the big, she is still the big promise of the
Yeah.
company. It's one of the most classical dancers that they have there now.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal. Like her fan base in St. Petersburg is huge.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Doesn't
they
surprise
compare
me.
her a little bit with young Uliana Lopatka.
I see that. I was going to say, I see that completely.
So it's really like a big deal, and she's wonderful. She's one of the people that have the like most wonderful work ethic. So it was really nice to share this moment.
Yeah.
And we had a really good show, really, really good. And I don't say this often about my shows. I'm never really satisfied. I wasn't satisfied, but like this, I still had this drive after we finished the show. I was like, you know, and it kept coming, and we were talking after the show. I couldn't take off the costume. I was like, it felt like crazy.
Yeah.
And the response of the audience, we had so many curtain calls.
Wow.
And then from there, you know, like I felt like my progress was just going higher and higher. And that season was going really good when in February I was actually guesting in Vladivostok. So Mariinsky has like 5 or 7 theaters inside Russia. It's crazy. And one of them is in Vladivostok. The companies that dance there, was there before already.
Right.
It's the Primorsky
Yeah.
stage, but it's not actual Mariinsky
No.
company.
Yeah.
The theater that they perform is the Mariinsky, so people get confused with that. But they have a similar repertoire than what we have. So they called us because they needed a couple for Bayader. And I was with Yekaterina Chebikina, which is a Ukrainian dancer, performing there. And it was when Russia invaded Ukraine. And I remember I didn't understand much, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a Brazilian boy, 22 years old. But then the whole media, the whole world turned their eyes to that. So did my family. So I had like pressure from everywhere. And I think the moment I realized that, like, I felt something, that I needed to do something, was on stage, where Ekaterina she was there, but she was not there. So I had to be like strong for both of us. I remember it was the hardest show I've ever done. Like she was very much moved by this because her family was back there.
Yeah.
And looking at her eyes or even touching her, like I felt like I needed to do something somehow. So it was very difficult because, you know, you get two opinions. And we arrived back in St. Petersburg. I already knew that I needed to leave.
Really? Yeah.
At first I thought it was for the time being. I thought it would be a silly thing. So I think all the foreigners were a bit worried at this moment. And by that time we were quite a few, including Ukrainians or Belarusians, and, you know, not just the foreigners like from Europe or America. And everyone was a bit worried. So we called a meeting with the director, with Yuri, and he said, like, we will, you have protection here, Mariinsky. You're safe here. Like, nothing's happening here. Like, we need you on stage. We love you so much. We achieved such beautiful things, and we want to keep that. He was actually very nice. And that was very confusing in my head because I almost wanted him to say, like, yes, I understand, like, go back and then we'll see. But then, you know, I had this feeling like, do I go? Do I stay?
Was your plan to go back to Brazil?
At that moment, I didn't know what it was, because I just knew I needed to get out to have a clear mind, because I had so much pressure from my family and from the media outside of Russia. Of course, there's two sides of things, and you know, I already made my decision and I stick with that. But like, I understand there's always two sides of things. So, and I don't want to get too political, but I just wanted to leave and see how things would go. It was a very difficult moment. I was only 22 and I had to deal with too many things that a 22 or anyone should go through. I had to take money out of the bank. I had to do so many things. I had a dog that had to leave with me. But my dog didn't have the rabies vaccine to travel. So I had to do all these sketchy things that one shouldn't have to do, you know, in Russian language. And like giving up my dream. And it was really hard. Really, really hard. Like, so I left through Tallinn because at the time the planes were not going anywhere anymore internationally. So by car we went to Tallinn, a few of us, and it was such a long drive because at this point so many people were leaving. And I found shelter again in Berlin after that, because it was the place I felt safe when I left Canada. So for me, I had to go there. And it was really difficult because then I realized that maybe I would never go back. But somehow I got strong and I reached out to Amsterdam. And Ted Branson, the director there, offered me shelter and offered me a job where they didn't, you know, at this time, companies in Europe were going through budget cuts because of COVID still. Plus, now a lot of Ukrainian dancers had left, and
Mm-hmm.
dancers in Russia had left. So a lot of these companies gave contracts to these people and new contracts, a lot of a lot of
Yeah.
money. So very grateful for that, and I was very lucky that Olga Smirnova from the Bolshoi Theater had chosen Amsterdam as well as her
Yeah.
base.
Did you know she'd chosen it
No, but
until?
he told me on the phone that there was a very beautiful dancer from Russia, a very famous dancer, also coming um, to Amsterdam, and he would like to partner us because same training. And but somehow I had the feeling, because I think she had posted by then that she was against everything that was
Mm.
happening, and if she made that post, it meant that she left Russia. So
How was the transition for you then? Just with the new environment, the new coaches in Dutch National?
it was very difficult,
Yeah.
very, very difficult, because I think this 4 years and a half that I was in Russia, I had like one vision, because I was in this place, so I needed to fit into that place. So everything else looked wrong.
Yeah. I think you did so well not going down some sort of hole
Yeah,
and losing it.
I almost did so many
Yeah.
times, and still now a bit less, but back there would be like, I don't know, 10 times a year that would like have a really bad crisis and wanting to go back to Russia and thinking that what I was doing was completely wrong.
Yeah.
So it was really hard, and they gave me all the support for it.
Mm-hmm.
I danced new things. I started to dance modern, which I always liked. It was not my main and stronger thing,
Yeah.
but I became very interested to it, and dance is full of opportunities. So I don't wanna
Mm.
be just one type of classical dancer. And somehow this is one of the best lessons I learned. Um,
Being
since
more versatile.
yes,
Yeah.
like it's a thing that I will have to live with for the rest of my life. That like I'll never reach that classicism that I could have reached if I stayed in Russia. But if I would stay in Russia, I would never um, become this really artist that I'm becoming, like that I can do anything, that I can
Yeah.
go any direction.
Yeah.
So it's like this paradox that I don't know which I would choose.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in between this thinking that I just get the best out of it, and we see
Yeah.
where it leads.
Was having Olga there helping you in a way? What was it like? Because you partnered her a lot and
Yes, I just remember being so inspired in studio and out, because obviously we would talk
mm-hmm.
about our experiences in Russia, and I had so many questions to her.
Yeah.
And I thought she was so brave for doing what she was doing, and I would learn so much from her every day, not just from about ballet, but about everything else. And I love to stay around someone intelligent
Yeah.
that I can learn something from.
Mm.
Like I feel really down if I'm like the smarter one in the room,
Yeah.
like I need I need to be around
People who
intelligent people.
stimulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's so crazy intelligent, and like she she's so wonderful. Like it was so inspiring. And on stage, I mean, like
Mm.
it was like I was breathing this magical air, and somehow I would also adapt to her style, and we created so many nice things together. I think a break moment was when we did Sleeping Beauty in
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam, and I think everyone was looking forward to it because that's the most classical ballet,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an English version, Peter Wright,
Right.
but we somehow made it also our own. We
Yeah.
try to respect the English style, but we would bring out some Petersburg imperial style to it. And I remember that the critics, they came for the premiere, which was not us. We were second cast. And then they also came for the second show. and we got different reviews, and we got a 5-star reviews for our show. So I was very proud of that.
Yeah.
And I had a back spasm for that show, but I knew I had to push it because I knew it was gonna be special.
Yeah.
Um, and so many others. We did Ballet there in Japan last year, and that was also because my favorite ballet. So dancing with her, and she's my favorite Nikia.
Mm.
Um, like there's this footage from the rehearsal that like we're even breathing the same way. Our head and eyes go the same way. So it's so nice to
Oh,
dance with someone
yeah.
with this kind of style, like that
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And she challenges me because she knows much more than I do. She had her whole education at the Vaganova.
Yeah.
She danced at the Bolshoi, but like she's such a Petersburg dancer. And like I still learn from her. I love to stay behind her in class and like try to learn from her, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
she's one of my favorite dancers and one of my best friends that I really learned something from.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know her from much earlier when she was studying, and I
Hmm.
had the same inspiration from her, just looking up to her.
Yeah.
She draws your eye
Yes.
instantly, and yeah, she's kind of mesmerizing.
Yes.
Tell us about your promotion at Dutch National. It was Swan Lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before I left Mariinsky, I was preparing Swan Lake, and I haven't done a Mariinsky stage, and this is really sad because this is one of the most important ballads,
Mm.
especially in Russia. So I was very much looking forward to it in Amsterdam. Somehow I knew it was gonna happen. We had this talk with Ted before. I just wanted to make it special, you know. And then I had a last minute change of partners. And then at this point, I was dancing a lot with Maya Makatelli,
Mm-hmm.
and she was my swan for the show. And we had 3 rehearsals together, so it was all very exciting.
Yeah.
Um, so that when it happened, like it was just pure happiness. Like it was everything I worked for prior to that. Again, like I come back to this drive. Knew it was gonna happen, and I had this goal that I wanted to be promoted before 23. Like you know, and it was the 4th of April. My birthday was on the 5th of April.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and it was like 11:30 p.m. So I was like, I made it, you know, like it was really special. I had so many people there. I had people from Brazil watching me. I had so many friends. It was so nice. It was announced once the curtains closed down, so now in front of the audience.
Yeah.
But still, like I remember like having this feeling like almost like I made it. And then the next day when I woke up for my birthday, I was like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
You know, like, and I called my teacher back in Russia, uh, and he said that your career only started now, Victor. Like, and then I was like, right. So that gave me the inspiration and the drive to now reach my career to other levels, you
Mm.
know, because what it means that you're principal dancer like means nothing if you don't keep growing and
Yeah.
evolving. So yeah, it's been a very nice journey since I got promoted, like to bring my performance to different levels,
Mm-hmm.
not just technically but like artistically. And as Alina mentioned in the interview with you, you know, like she always tries to find different layers to her performance, like what's her goal for that performance, and if she moves someone that means something to her. So I find that I have a similar thing, that
Yeah.
if there was one person there that went home and was moved by my show,
Mm.
um I somehow made it, you
Yeah.
know. Like maybe I wasn't happy with some things that went with the show, but if there was a few people or one person that was moved by the show and would think about it before they
Mm-hmm.
go to sleep, I'm happy.
One thing I always love about your dancing is you do bring so much energy, and you really feel your passion. Like whether it's a happy role, when I watch you, I feel like happy watching,
Thank you.
you know. And if it's a more emotional role, like La Bayadere, you just, you know, you really feel your artistry and your soul come through your dancing, and so much so that, you know, you can't take your eyes off you. So I think, yeah, you're a really beautiful dancer.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. And I find that the thing that love most about my profession is the ability to live so many different lives.
Yeah.
So I'm not
With the
just
different
Victor,
roles.
and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I have this life because I lived so many different people, like different roles. And yeah, that's such a beautiful thing.
So at this point, did you feel that Amsterdam was like your home now? Did you feel settled? And what happened where you left Dutch National?
So I somehow always knew that that was a transition
Right.
place. I loved the city, and the friends that I made there are friends for life, really. So like they gave me this drive to go to work every day. Like I loved my routine, but I was feeling that I still needed that care that I had in Russia with like the coaching or like working on something that is not just for the show, it's for the future. So in a new role that I'm not performing the next 3-4 months, but like keep evolving.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have that there, and somehow I started to feel like I was doing a 9 to 5.
Right.
I love the company, I love
Yeah.
everything. I have nothing bad to say, but like it was my own feeling that I built. Maybe it's not like that, you know, like I have so many friends that are so happy there and that they're so inspired, and I was too. Like I did great things in Amsterdam. Like I
Yeah.
worked with great choreographers, and during that period that I was feeling like this, I was actually working with Jiri Kilian, and he talked about urgency, and he put me on the side, and he said something like, "The step that you just did, it's in the past, so you can never go back to that. I want you to dance with urgency. That, you know, it might be the last thing that you do. So one step that you do, it's already past. So like you need to be your everything that you can be here and now." So that didn't only speak to my dance that I was doing there, but about my future, where I want to go and what I want of my career. And if I was feeling a bit down, that I was like almost going to work because I had to, I had to change that. The power is in my hands. I can rely on the direction. I can rely on the teachers, on my colleagues to inspire me. I have to
You
do
want to
it.
keep moving, like keep
Yes.
growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And only I can change that. So that's what I did. I talked with my director. They were so supportive, and up to this day, they say whenever I want to come back, I always have a place. Always when I go there, take class, I watch the show, and I'm welcomed really nicely. So they understood what I needed, and I didn't have a main goal at that point of where to go, up until when I actually made the decision to leave. Alessandro Ferri had called me and offered me a job at the Vienna State Opera, and I knew that Marcelo Gomes was also going as a coach, so I saw this as the perfect combo. But that is only starting now in August 25. So I had 1 year gap. So what would I do? Stay in Amsterdam and maybe still feel sad, like not feeling like I'm doing enough. Go to other company for a year, which is a bit silly because I knew I was going to Vienna, or be on my own, because at this point I had so many invitations everywhere to dance. Then I decided to take a freelance here.
Quite a big decision.
Yes, it was very hard. It has been very hard, but I'm so grateful I did it.
Yeah.
I met so many people along the way. I danced so much. I think much more than I would have danced ever in Amsterdam or in any other company.
Yeah.
So many different stages, so many different theaters. places, and I learned so much about me because um, I've been very, in a way, lonely. It's just me and my suitcase everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, so I discovered so much things about myself, about my dance, my ideas, um, and I learned a lot from different people, different places.
Mm.
So I'm very, very grateful for this year. It's been hard, especially on my body, because
Yeah.
like you got different floors everywhere you go, the travel, the
Mm-hmm.
fatigue, and I don't have the physio that I had in
No, you're
Amsterdam
on
with
your
me.
own.
Yeah, so I have to
Yeah.
pay for it, and
Yeah.
it's expensive, and I never like not always I have the time. So it's been hard, but I'm so happy I did it.
What are some of the things you enjoyed most about this freelance year? I also noticed you went on holiday a little bit.
Yes, so I could combine my job, my work in the place that I was doing with the holiday. So I don't know if I went to Asia, I would try to go and visit something there,
Yeah.
and um, I think that was really fun, and also because I was so free that I could go home back to Brazil, and I went home 3 times in a year, and this never happens when I'm in a company. I can go once maximum. So to be also close to my family
Mm.
was really nice, and I performed in Brazil for the very first time since I left.
Yeah.
In the
Wow.
in the main theater, I performed with Mayara Magri, which is a prima ballerina from the Royal Ballet. And I think for the Brazilian ballet community, we're like the pride of the country, like we're the ones. We have so many Brazilians out there, but like from our generations that
Mm.
like made it the farthest. Or not, we still have a lot in every company, but like people, Brazilian people, they really watch for us,
Yeah.
and they really support us. That like our show sold out like in 5 minutes, like
Wow.
3 shows. They put a screen outside of the theater to
Oh,
make.
wow. Like Wimbledon.
Yes, like Lady Gaga had just performed in Brazil, like two
Yeah.
million people watched her, and
Yeah.
then they were comparing our show with like Lady Gaga's performance in Brazil. So because it was very difficult to get tickets, and um
Did you feel a lot of pressure
oh
surrounding that?
yes, oh yeah,
Did you feel like, what were your emotions surrounding performing in your hometown?
oh my God, it felt like my day was so long. It was like 48 hours, and like we wouldn't have time to sleep. We just kept doing things and things and things and performing and interviews and seeing family and seeing friends and going to the like swim in the ocean. Like
Yeah.
you did so much, and we were so tired after that. But it was so nice. It was like a shower for the soul. Like I came back home with so much inspiration
Mm.
for my people, like, and presenting what I learned
Mm.
in the past 10 years that I've been out of Brazil, back and giving back to my community and to the main theater there. They
Mm.
don't have so much support, so like they said that they needed that. They needed these shows, and I still get messages now, like 2 months later, saying like, "Wow, I cannot forget your performance," or "You changed things here in the ballet community in Brazil." So it was a really big thing for the Brazilian ballet community.
Wow.
People all over the Brazil came to watch us,
Oh,
so it was really
I
nice.
wish did they film it
Um,
at all?
I Well, you get films from like Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Like I would go home after and I would go through my whole show on Instagram, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if they did an actual
Mm.
uh, DVD or something. I hope so because it was something that I want to keep it.
No,
Like
it sounds so special.
it was.
Um, Throughout that whole year that you were more freelance, obviously you paid so much importance to your coach and someone looking after you. How did you cope in that period? When someone invited you for a show, how did you prepare for it?
hmm So before that in Amsterdam, somehow I would find myself also be alone preparing for my guestings, you
Yeah.
know, um, or I would I wouldn't necessarily connect to every coach there was.
Mm.
So by this point, I already kind of knew how to work on my own.
Right.
And that helped me for this year. Because again, I'm very much alone,
Yeah.
also in the preparations. But whenever I take class somewhere, so when I'm in Royal, Kevin O'Hare has been really nice to let me train with the Royal Ballet the whole year. And like I had my own pass. So they always have an amazing teaching class. So from class, you already get corrections, you get something. They had guest teachers. So somehow I would ask to rehearse with them in those 15-minute break. You know, I would use this time so well. Like I knew it was the only time that I had to rehearse. So I would use that for my performances. But places I would guest, especially it's a full length,
Yeah.
there was always someone, a coach responsible, which was one of the most beautiful things, like to make connections. So
Yeah.
I met so many wonderful coaches around.
I admire your tenacity to, you know, go up to these people and say, please, can you help me?
Yes.
You know, do you think that's like something people really, young dancers really need to
I do.
understand is important to do?
Yes, I do, because we have something to learn from everyone, even from our co-workers or dancers around us. Like, so I would try to find help even with people around me in class. Like Mayara has been such a wonderful friend, and she would coach me also. Like, you know, so these places I went, I always try to take something to my career out of that, like out of that experience. I didn't want to just go perform, get my money, and goodbye.
No. Yeah.
I tried uh, to learn something from them, and each place had something to teach me and someone to say something that still within me now. So it add up to the artist I'm becoming.
Yeah, no, it's so amazing. Now you're soon going to Vienna, and I read somewhere that you felt you needed to go there, you know, to be with Alessandra Ferri, and Marcelo Gomez is there as well. So tell us what that means to you when you said it's something that is needed right now.
By leaving Russia, I thought I would do different classics of repertoire. So working on ballets by Macmillan, Ashton, Kranko, Johnny O'Meara, and I didn't find that in Amsterdam. So I did all the classics already, you know, Petipa, like all of those. I've done it. I still want to do it because I'm still young and I still can make it better and like enjoy it. But I'm so interested in doing those classics, and Alessandra and Marcelo did those so well, and they have so many connections that I feel like if I dance these ballets, it can add so much to my career. And I love being around them. I was at the World Ballet Festival with them, and I spent 2-3 weeks with them, and just like the ideas match. Like, you know, when when you're with your people, like, you know, your group of people. So I feel really calm and confident that this is a great decision and that I need to go there because I'll have so much to learn from them. And that's the most wonderful thing that there is for this career. Like, you can always learn. And like whenever I felt stuck, I was unhappy. So I feel that this is the next level. Like I'm going there with my heart and head open to like learn from them, like on the studio and in life, really. Like all the experience they had, like it's so nice to hear. So I want to experience the same things.
Yeah, I think both of those people, Ferry and Gomez, having watched them a lot, both as dancers and coaches as well, they're very passionate.
Yes.
You know, they're very energetic people as well, which matches, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And like Alessandra and Marcelo, they worked with so many wonderful people. So it's one thing that I say that where I see my career after, what I learned in Russia, I feel like I cannot keep only to myself. I need to pass it on it would be so selfish of me to keep all this information that I learned there to me, you know. So that's like what I feel with them, like they're passing me on all this knowledge, all these people that they encounter
Yeah.
like when they were younger in their career. So they're passing on to me now.
Yeah.
And then I have my experience in Russia, and they will adapt to that, so that in the future I can pass on to the next generation. So that's why I think it's a really important move for my career to go there now.
Yeah. You've been through, so much actually, listening to you. So your journey has been vast, going all over the place. And I really admire how you haven't given up on what you truly desire, in your heart. And you've always listened to it, despite maybe, being in a fabulous company like Dutch National where you have everything you'll ever need. But something inside you said, oh, actually, there's something else. You really listened to your gut, it seems.
Yeah, I think the little boy still lives within me, and as long as he's alive, I will keep doing this.
If you could put into words for some young dancers who are looking to get the most out of this profession, or to get the job they want, or to find their place, what would you say in your own words to them?
I think if you put your heart into it, like when you have a clear goal, I think there's nothing really that can stop you. We're humans, so we're always adapting. So even if you encounter difficulties and challenges, there's other way. Like it's not always a straight line, and with me has never been a straight line. So I feel like if the goal is clear, it will happen. You'll find your place. We all have a place out there. So, but if you're not clear, that will be very difficult. Like, I find that any time that I achieved something, it was because I knew what I had to do. And of course, I had so many people helping me. But if I had the confidence within me, like, I can reach anything that I want.
So you think having those clear goals in your head are really important to
Yes.
your success?
Yeah, and being passionate also helped, and a bit delusional. Like like you can be a little bit delusional. It's okay.
Yeah.
That will help you go through things. Things won't affect you so much. I feel like that's the way I cope with things somehow. Yeah, but it's that thing that I keep saying. The goal is clear, so nothing. Let me tell you, nothing could stop me or can stop me with those goals.
No, clearly not. So talking of goals, before we finish today, what are you thinking about for your career now? What are your goals as you go into this new company in Vienna now?
So as I said, like when I got promoted to principal dancer, my career only started now. So it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
So I have 3 years of career. I still have plenty more. So I want to do different repertoires, and I'm very looking forward that already now on my first season in Vienna I will have new things to adapt. And I feel like the more repertoire you do, the better dancer you become, because your body knows something else. It's a different language, So I want to keep doing different things, and I have a dream to dance in the biggest opera houses in the world. So I have danced in quite a few, but I still want to perform, not being like part of this company, but like perform in those opera houses, because you get so much from the place as well. Like I'm someone that get really inspired about my surroundings.
Yeah.
So I want to go to those places and perform.
What are those top places in your head?
Well, I really, really dream to dance one day in Paris, at the Paris Opera, the Royal Ballet, and with the ABT, to guess, like this.
I had those.
Yeah.
I guess that would be them.
Yeah. So even New York City Ballet, you know,
Yeah.
like all these main houses, these main companies, um, they have wonderful repertoire and wonderful dances. But I think I'll be very happy in Vienna, like not just the opera, but the city. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's some I've been there and I felt in love with it. And as I said, I'm for me it's very important my surroundings. So if I'm somewhere
Yeah,
that
I agree.
inspires me,
Yeah.
so and also looking forward to dance with different dancers. And I love changing partners. You know, like they're my favorites, of course, but I don't want to get stuck with one dancer. Like you, I have so much to learn from my partner. And my most favorite thing to dance, it's a pas de deux.
Yeah.
Like not even my solos. Like some, I don't want to say that I don't care about the solos, but that's one of the things I care less
Mm-hmm.
in a ballet. But when I connect with someone on stage, that's such a beautiful thing. And to show this connection to the audience, you know, like when I'm watching a couple
Yeah.
performing, I get so moved by it.
Yeah.
So I try to also have the best connection with my partners.
Mm-hmm.
And and then we'll see
Yeah.
where ballet gives me bring me, because there's so many ways I can go in the future. But
Mm-hmm.
I really want to enjoy the now,
Yeah.
because the now is very exciting.
It is. I mean, I'm so excited for you. And you are like still super young, very much still at the very beginning. And I can't wait to see your career continue to blossom. I think what I've learned from you is to always trust yourself and trust your gut and follow your goals and allow yourself to believe in those goals, because and be a bit of a dreamer.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Because you're a clear example of someone who has their eyes set on something and they go for it and they get it. So it's been so wonderful to chat to you again
Yeah,
and to
thank
meet
you.
you in person. And thank you so much for joining us today. I'm
Thank you
sure
for having me.
they'll really enjoy it. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.